What if I told you that Fortnite is about to change the world? You don't need to play it or even care about it for it to matter. What's important isn't the game, it's how it functions as a launchpad for something even bigger than itself. How its future may have more in line with the science fiction concept of full-blown virtual worlds we live in, as opposed to play in. Something else has been accelerating in the background, making this future all the more likely. Systems are getting smarter, machines are becoming more capable. Our present reality is beginning to stray farther and farther from the world we grew up knowing. While the conversations about all of these technologies paint the advancements as evil or dangerous, they're missing what actually connects them. The real danger isn't the technology, it's what it's quietly training us to accept. So the question is, what is the real danger at the end of this tunnel that almost everyone seems to be missing? Before we zoom out and connect the dots between Fortnite, virtual worlds, and where our culture seems to be heading, I want to start with a few disclaimers. In this video, my goal is not to just hypothesize about science fiction dreams. Instead, I aim to present you with all of the evidence I've seen to support the future that not only the game of Fortnite is heading towards, but also, and more importantly, our culture as a whole. I will do my best to present all of my conclusions with existing information and coherent logic to drive the case home that this is the future that we are headed towards. Ultimately, I have no way of predicting the future with certainty. There are countless variables, technological, cultural, and economic, that could shift how any of this actually plays out. What I can do is walk you through the patterns that we can already see and the story they appear to be telling. To do that, this video breaks down into three main parts, drawing its complete conclusion at the very end. First, we'll look at how Fortnite evolved from a simple game into something much larger than it was ever intended to be. Then, we'll zoom out and connect that evolution with the broader rise of virtual worlds and virtual reality, why ideas that once felt like science fiction no longer are. And finally, we'll talk about the risk that comes with all of this, how advances in AI and automation could reshape work, purpose, and why virtual worlds may become more than just entertainment in the years ahead. I'm not presenting this as a finished verdict on the future, but as a journey through the ideas themselves, ones that really only come together once we reach the end. My hope is that by then, you're not just thinking about technology, but what it means for how we live our lives today and in the years to come. With these disclaimers out of the way, let's travel back to 2017 and look into where Fortnite began, where it's presently at, and where it appears to be going. On July 25th, 2017, the world was first introduced to Epic Games' new project, Fortnite. However, this is likely not the Fortnite you know today. Fortnite's genesis was a game under the name Fortnite Save the World. Epic Games had been working on the project since 2011 and originally intended to focus on this cooperative player versus environment structure, where players would work together to fight against swarms of zombie-like creatures, collect resources, and defend objectives using their innovative build mechanics. Around the time Fortnite Save the World was released, the gaming landscape was buzzing with the rise of battle royale shooters like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and H1Z1, which the team at Epic Games was avidly playing. Watching these games, they realized how much more exciting a battle royale could be if it incorporated Fortnite's unique building mechanic. With a team of roughly 30 people and a 4-week development sprint using existing assets, Epic built what started as a side project and ended up becoming one of the biggest cultural phenomena in gaming history.
In the world of gaming, there's no escaping the power of Fortnite.
Let's now talk Fortnite, shall we? It's the newest video game craze spreading across fast among kids, college kids, even celebrities.
Fortnite is such a phenomenon that this weekend, a Fortnite esports event in Las Vegas drew nearly 700,000 concurrent viewers on Twitch.
Given its free-to-play structure, innovative mechanics, and support from large online creators, the game was an immediate success. Millions of players created accounts to join in on the cultural phenomenon Fortnite had become. Despite spending the last 6 years developing it, Save the World wasn't even a part of the equation anymore. It was clear that Battle Royale was the future, and Epic Games doubled down. Fortnite began spreading to even more consoles beyond the staples of the industry, launching on Apple's iOS and Nintendo Switch in early 2018. That being said, Fortnite was removed from iOS in late 2020 due to a dispute with how Epic Games was selling its in-game currency, bypassing the App Store's commission fee. But that's besides the point. The game was spreading virally. It didn't have any plans on slowing down. New skins, new weapons, new updates, Fortnite wasn't just sitting in the success it had found. It continued to evolve and keep players engaged with fresh mechanics and exciting updates to keep them coming back. With its explosive success, it's unsurprising that at this same time, one of the titans in the entertainment industry had its eyes set on Fortnite. And whether they knew it or not, they were about to change the course of Fortnite history. On May 8th, 2018, not even a year after Fortnite's release, Epic Games partnered with Marvel Studios in its first ever crossover event, bringing Thanos and his Infinity Gauntlet into Fortnite for players to use. With Infinity War becoming one of the highest grossing movies of all time, this event brought even more attention to Fortnite, bringing millions of players into this week-long crossover event. While players assumed this was a one-time crossover, Epic had other things in mind. What started as an experiment quickly turned into a blueprint, one that both Epic and major brands realized could be repeated, expanded, and scaled. Fortnite's access to official IP is unmatched. Pairing that with the fact that with each collaboration, we get a fresh design, either implementing each character into Fortnite's unique art style, or bringing the IP's original art style to life for cartoons like Bob's Burgers or anime like Dragon Ball Z. In the last 7 years, Fortnite has collaborated with over 100 different franchises and created over 400 original skins, allowing players to play as their favorite superheroes, movie characters, video game icons, celebrities, and more. Collaboration in Fortnite has become more than just one small event. Crossovers have become an expectation and a staple of Fortnite. In 2025 alone, Fortnite has added over 60 brand new collaboration skins ranging from various franchises in terms of style, audience, maturity, and complexity. Aside from cosmetic cameos that can be found in the item shop, Fortnite's live collaboration events have also become a staple within the game, constantly pushing boundaries and breaking expectations of what was ever thought possible. On April 14th, 2019, Fortnite started this trend partnering with one of the biggest DJs of the modern era, Marshmello. A countdown appeared within Battle Royale, leading up to a live concert that you had to be logged in to witness. This began a trend of be there or miss it style of live events, bringing players together to either witness the progression of the Fortnite story itself, or partner with musicians and brands to bring live experience to the Fortnite metaverse. For example, on December 1st, 2020, Fortnite reached its highest count of concurrent players ever, with yet another collaboration with Marvel. Rather than the Mad Titan Thanos, this time players joined in to fight against the Devourer of Worlds himself, Galactus. 15.3 million players were all logged in at the same time to defend the island and experience this historic moment in Fortnite history. Live events have continued, including but not limited to concerts from the likes of Daft Punk, Eminem, and Ariana Grande, as well as more participatory collaborations, like a Death Star Sabotage, where players infiltrated the Death Star dressed as stormtroopers as the Death Star was threatening the destruction of the Fortnite island. These live events have set the precedent of creating Fortnite to be more than just a multiplayer game. Rather, a collaborative social experience, allowing players to feel like they are a part of something bigger than just a game. One of the most impressive partnerships Fortnite has been able to acquire is an industry giant, famous for the close protection of its intellectual property. Of course, I am talking about Disney. On February 7th, 2024, Disney and Epic Games announced something beyond just a simple cosmetic collaboration. Disney invested $1.5 billion to acquire an equity stake in Epic Games. Fortnite gained access to IP and licensing never before thought possible, But there's something even bigger about this deal that no one is talking about. But we'll come back to that in a bit. Moving beyond cosmetics and collaborations, on December 8th, 2023, Epic Games moved to do something even more ambitious than ever before. Introduce 3 brand new games, all inside of Fortnite. Rocket Racing, a rocket-powered, fast-paced racing game. Fortnite Festival, a concert-style rhythm game akin to Guitar Hero or Rock Band. And finally, LEGO Fortnite, a multifaceted system of LEGO worlds and games where almost all of your Fortnite skins can be used, only this time converted entirely into LEGO. All 3 of these brand new games are accessible at the click of a button within Fortnite itself, meaning you could get suited up as Donatello from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, wearing C-3PO on your back, wielding the energy sword from Halo, take off in the DeLorean from Back to the Future to start off with some races in rocket racing, move on to drop into a game of Battle Royale riding down on the Petercopter from Family Guy, decide to relax and build out your apartment in LEGO Fortnite, and finish off your night performing a concert with any of the songs Fortnite has access to within Fortnite Festival. All of this can be done without ever once closing the Fortnite application. Beyond their own game modes Epic has developed, they've also done something overwhelmingly impressive in encouraging players and game designers to make their own games within Fortnite. On March 22nd, 2023, Epic released the Unreal Editor for Fortnite, a totally free and powerful tool utilizing Unreal Engine that allows anyone to design maps, game modes, mini-games, or really anything you can dream up, and upload it directly into Fortnite for anyone to start playing on. This isn't just for fun either. Epic Games pays out directly to the creator of the map depending on how much activity their map sees. Some of the most successful map creators have generated tens of millions of dollars simply from having a successful game mode on Fortnite. Even smaller creators are able to generate hundreds or thousands of dollars on a monthly basis. There are even map creators out there who have quit their full-time jobs because creating maps on Fortnite was simply a more lucrative and enjoyable model of making money. Over the last 7 years, a lot has changed in Fortnite. From their Unreal collaborations, incredible live events, expansion into new and exciting games within Fortnite itself, and developing a pathway for anyone, anywhere to start making a genuine income by creating within Fortnite. It's fair to say it's no longer just another Battle Royale game. It's fair to say that being a Battle Royale was just the start. Unafraid of evolution and growth beyond an original premise, Epic continually shows that Fortnite isn't done expanding. It's only just begun. If this truly is the case, it only begs the question, what's next? On August 16th, 2011, a novel hit the shelves that would go on to both inspire, excite, and terrify its readers with visions of a world to come. Ready Player One by Ernest Cline tells the tale of a futuristic dystopian world in the year 2045, where not just the geopolitical system, but also the mentality of a generation has moved from working through the problems of the world to merely trying to outlive them. Poverty, purposelessness, and lack of identity permeate throughout the world Cline has created, leaving the real world feeling apocalyptically gray. Despite the despair of civilization, they still find joy, excitement, entertainment, and love, but not in the real world, rather in the Oasis, a virtual reality metaverse where you can be anyone and do anything. Customize your own avatar, dress up as any video game or movie character you like, collect powerful artifacts, travel the universe in your own spaceship, play some golf, climb a mountain, participate in a giant battle royale. Really, only the limits of what you can do are your own imagination. Alongside all of this, the Oasis is a melting pot of pop culture and intellectual property, featuring everything from Hello Kitty to the Iron Giant. The Oasis isn't just a game, it's another reality entirely. Be who you want to be, do whatever you want to do, make real world money, go to school, and have a job. Ready Player One truly shows that people don't just play in the Oasis, they live in the Oasis. Fans of the novel and the following movie it inspired have dreamed of the Oasis becoming a reality they can experience for themselves. And as time has gone on, they've seen the possibilities slowly coming together piece by piece. At the time of Ready Player One's publication, there was virtually zero commercial access to virtual reality, so the story felt like an out-of-reach dream of the distant future. But we're not in 2011 anymore, and things today are a much different story. In 2026, the virtual reality landscape is continuing to expand and looking promising. Commercial virtual reality headsets are no longer a rarity, with low-end yet effective headsets like the Meta Quest offering the technology at a price point that won't break the bank, and high-end souped-up headsets for enthusiasts to experience the top-of-the-line evolutions in VR technology. In addition to the mandatory headsets, more and more virtual reality accessories continue to pop up in the underbelly of virtual reality enthusiasts. Face trackers, full-body trackers, omnidirectional treadmills, haptic feedback bodysuits, and even more continue in their development. Unfortunately, the majority of these accessories either fall at an astronomical price point or aren't universally compatible yet. However, the concepts are being proven every day. Even if the technology hasn't been widely accepted into the mainstream, startups and large tech corporations alike aren't slowing down on their visions for a virtual future, and they're making sure to put their money where their mouth is. Meta has committed over $100 billion into its extended reality product portfolio, including their virtual and augmented reality projects. Apple is estimated to have spent more than $20 billion in research and development for its recent Apple Vision Pro. Beyond investments, experts project the virtual reality market to rapidly expand over the next 10 years, moving from a market cap of $43 billion in 2024 to $382 billion in 2033. These projections mainly come from the realization that virtual reality has applications beyond the gaming and entertainment industry, which is its widely understood purpose today. Healthcare, education, corporate workflow, and even more industries have the ability to profit from the virtual reality industry, and it's only a matter of time before the technology catches up with the demand. Beyond the devices themselves, the VR software industry continues to expand, getting closer and closer to the vision of the Oasis imagined by Klein. Social VR programs have exploded, bringing people together virtually all over the world, with one of the most successful and closest thing to a modern-day Oasis being VR Chat. VR Chat is a social platform where users can join, dress up as any avatar they find or create, and explore over 1.6 million worlds available right now, with roughly 200 to 300 new worlds added daily. The primary goal of VR Chat is to explore and socialize with any of the 40,000 to 60,000 users who are on at any given time. Since its release in early 2014, VR Chat has become a staple in the VR landscape and grown a very tight-knit following. While all of this is incredibly exciting, VR Chat still suffers from several drawbacks, preventing it from becoming a more mainstream success and fulfilling many of the needs of a real-world Oasis. First and foremost, almost all of the content within VR Chat, both the avatars and the worlds they inhabit, are unofficial and unlicensed user-generated content. This means there's little to no regulation on standards of worlds or avatars, giving inconsistency in quality and performance, as well as zero backing from the official owners of the intellectual property. Besides this, you don't really have any sense of ownership within the experience. While you can favorite skins you find, you don't exactly own them. The closest thing to owning a skin is learning how to fully 3D model an avatar, rig the avatar so it can be used in-game, and upload it to VR Chat. Or you would have to pay someone to do this for you. On top of all of this, all items, weapons, or knickknacks found within the worlds are exclusive to the world you're in. There's no player inventory to store things you find in your time traveling. To make a comparison to a real-world example, VR Chat is to the Oasis what MySpace is to what Facebook would go on to become. This naturally raises the question, if VR Chat is the MySpace of virtual worlds, what platform will emerge as the Facebook? The true real-world Oasis that defines the future of social VR? Could it be a gaming startup or an existing developer creating this next sensation? Or maybe it's already out there, quietly developing beneath the surface, just waiting to surprise us all. While there is no official confirmation, Fortnite is proving to be the most likely candidate for the beginning of a real-world Oasis. both through existing structures within the game and outside business moves that give hope for this piece of science fiction becoming reality. Let's break it down. The strongest thing Fortnite has going for it is its utilization of outside intellectual property. Not just off-brand, user-imported avatars, but real partnerships with outside companies that generate more than $150 million every month simply from purchases within the item shop. We've already looked over the expansive collection of cosmetics within the game, and this alone draws incredible comparisons to what the Oasis achieved. Besides avatars, Fortnite already has cars, SUVs, melee items, backpack accessories, gliders, musical instruments, and most recently, sidekicks that can run alongside you as you play. As the game expands, its ability to introduce new items for players to own is not only inevitable, but encouraged by the community. Besides its access to IP, Epic Games has proved they're willing to change directions with where Fortnite sits, never eliminating where it started, but always introducing new ways for players to join in and enjoy their game, even if it's not for the original idea. Save the World was the genesis, but Epic pivoted its focus quickly to Battle Royale. And rather than eliminating Save the World altogether, they kept it within Fortnite for anyone who still wants to play. With the introduction of Rocket Racing, LEGO Fortnite, and Fortnite Festival, it's clear that this is just the beginning for Fortnite, and more is bound to come. As time moves on, Epic has the potential to maintain Battle Royale for anyone who wants to play and has come to love the game, while also shifting its focus to an MMO Oasis-level metaverse. This shift will maintain their existing audience while bringing in millions of others who may have no interest in Battle Royale. And the data backs this up. At the launch of the 3 brand new game modes, Fortnite surged to a concurrent player count of over 7.6 million players, both new customers and returning fans. While I recognize that the thought of Fortnite becoming an open-world metaverse seems jarring at first, the evidence is clear. Do you remember that $1.5 billion Disney investment I told you about? Well, with this, things are only looking clearer. During the announcement of the partnership between Disney and Epic Games, a trailer was released that seems to have been swept under the rug as time has moved on. But I believe it to be the clearest evidence supporting my claims. On February 7th, 2024, Epic Games published a video simply titled Disney x Epic Games. The video begins with the words, "Discover a place where magic is epic," moving on to showcase many of the different Disney properties already existing within Fortnite. It goes on to follow this by saying a new universe will emerge, only to present an image of 7 interconnected floating islands in the middle of space, as well as a giant road connecting all of them. Spaceships flying into the spaceport shown at one of the islands, and all of these properties being showcased in one fashion or another. Beyond that, the video continues with a title card reading, "Play, watch, create, shop," concluding with an ominous release date of soon-ish. While I believe this video to be clear as day regarding what the two companies are moving to create, it seems that wasn't the wide reception. Rather than seeing this as an announcement for something new entirely, the comments on the video suggest people simply saw this as the announcement for more Disney skins to be introduced into Fortnite, despite the video description giving a much different perspective. Reading, Disney and Epic Games are creating a new, expansive, and open games entertainment universe connected to Fortnite. They aren't just talking about cosmetics. This is clearly talking about something new entirely. Despite it being almost 2 years since the announcement took place with no official updates on the project being released, it's safe to assume that with $1.5 billion invested, this is not something being swept under the rug. Rather, being baked to perfection until it's ready to show off to the masses. While this is exciting, it's clear that even when this new universe they are creating takes shape, the most obvious difference between Fortnite and the Oasis remains its existence within virtual reality. However, their partnership with Disney might be able to help them out with that. On June 5th, 2023, during Apple's WWDC, the most ambitious piece of technology we have seen from Apple since the iPhone was announced, the Apple Vision Pro. Showcasing some of the most impressive VR technology, spatial awareness, computing power, and high-definition video, this was clearly something game-changing for the virtual reality industry. One of the only outside partnerships announced alongside the Apple Vision Pro was with Disney. announcing their creation and ongoing development of exclusive content for the Apple Vision Pro. And while one might imagine Fortnite's removal from Apple's services to be a roadblock, throughout early 2025, Apple reinstated Fortnite onto the App Store after a lengthy legal battle in American and European courts. Ultimately, even if participating in the virtual reality edition to Fortnite would be a roadblock for some, I don't expect Fortnite to leave the existing platforms it's already on. Even VR Chat has the ability to join its metaverse from a mobile device or computer with no VR hardware required. Some may participate from their couch on their TV. Some may join in sitting at their desk on their computer. But then there will be those who are willing to not just play, but step inside of the new universe introduced through the power of virtual reality. Let's put all of this evidence together. Fortnite has the largest official access to popular intellectual property, with even more being introduced all the time. Existing player ownership to a large variety of cosmetics, existing implementation of multiple game modes, worlds, and experiences. A history of in-game live events reaching concurrent player counts in the millions. A track record of being willing to pivot focus while maintaining the structure of the original game. An existing economy of player-generated games and worlds where creators can make a genuine profit from their creations. A partnership with Disney, already vaguely announcing what seems to be an Oasis-like metaverse. And finally, with that same partnership, Disney is already developing content for virtual reality. Now, it's not all clear-cut science. Fortnite obviously still has room to grow to develop itself into Oasis-level status. For example, a customizable home base. Imagine every time you load into Fortnite, rather than starting in a simple lobby, you open the game to see your own house, apartment, or whatever building you could imagine, decorated by you, from which you can change skins, access the shop, or teleport into any game mode or world Fortnite has to offer. Alongside this, there is no player-to-player economy. While the revenue from creating worlds is a great step in this direction, between players there's no way to actually buy and sell in-game assets. There are plenty of things the Oasis has to offer that Fortnite clearly doesn't and may never have. But my argument isn't that Fortnite will become a one-to-one Oasis recreation. Rather, the real-world interpretation of what the Oasis was predicted to be. To me, the signs are clear. While virtual reality may be an undervalued asset in the zeitgeist of cultural conversation in this moment, trends, technology, analysts, and the evolution within the gaming industry are pointing in another direction. If virtual reality and augmented reality are the future, I strongly believe that something akin to the Oasis is inevitable, and Fortnite is showing all of the signs of filling that role. No other game or company has the existing community, access to outside partnerships, or history of success quite like what Epic Games has created, if this is the future we are headed towards. One question remains. While it appears Fortnite is evolving to become something like the Oasis, what will move it beyond just a game? What could possibly move people from playing Fortnite to living in Fortnite? To some, this may seem like an impossibility. Unfortunately, both technology and culture are looking to present a much different reality. On November 30th, 2022, the world was introduced to a new piece of technology that no one could have prepared for. The first ever high-end large language model AI chatbot was released free of charge by OpenAI. ChatGPT was about to take the world by storm. Within 5 days of its release, ChatGPT had already amassed 1 million users, the shortest time any software had ever reached that milestone. Even after its release, the chatbot has not stopped growing, continuing to do so at an exponential rate. In November of 2023, 1 year after its release, ChatGPT had grown to over 100 million active weekly users. The most recent statistics we have from Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, place the weekly active users at 800 million as of October 2025. Since ChatGPT's release, OpenAI hasn't been alone in the AI race, even if it's still leading the pack. Other LLMs have popped up as time goes on, with everyone racing to build the best AI on the market. Google created Gemini, xAI created Grok, and Anthropic created Claude. More and more LLMs keep emerging, and it's clear this competition isn't slowing down anytime soon. Including all other LLMs, the estimated weekly user base for these aggregated AI platforms is well over 1 billion users, a staggering statistic when you look at the best estimates in the form of percentages. Out of the approximately 6.5 billion people alive on the planet over the age of 13, an estimated 1.25 billion of them are using AI every week. That's almost 1/5 of the eligible user base only 3 years after ChatGPT's inception. Aiding the user growth to LLMs like these is their frequent and exponential evolution of power, function, and independence. Let's focus on ChatGPT as it remains the most successful LLM available and break down how it's grown over time. Large language models work by predicting the next word in a sentence, trained on billions of texts to mimic human language. They use context to distinguish a word's meaning, like whether bank is referring to money or a riverbank. All of this gets refined by tweaking parameters through countless floating point operations, also called flops. These are the basic math calculations that computers perform during training to minimize prediction errors, ensuring the AI stays coherent and effective. When estimating raw AI power, flops have been regarded as the best metric to show this because they measure the total computer effort poured into training, which reliably predicts smarter performance as models grow bigger. Through the 3-year evolution of ChatGPT, its total compute power has grown at a staggering rate. At release, OpenAI showcased GPT 3.5, which was trained using an estimated 3 × 10 to the power of 23 flops. Less than a year later, on March 14, 2023, GPT-4 was released, this time with a flop count approximately 66 times bigger than GPT 3.5. 2 years later, where do we stand? On August 7th of 2025, GPT-5 was released with a staggering computing power 2.5 times the size of GPT-4 and 167 times the size of GPT-3. The growth of power available to these AI models is undeniable, exponential, and unlike anything we have ever seen before. Beyond raw power growth, the capabilities of these AI models are growing by the day. While the original GPT 3.5 model was exclusively functional through standalone chat interactions, the most updated versions of the software can do much more than that. You can have a full-blown conversation with your GPT while it uses a highly realistic synthetic voice model. You can upload and analyze images, documents, PDFs, and more. Rather than sourcing from training data, you can have ChatGPT scour the internet to get the most up-to-date research. Anyone can utilize or create their own GPT model by tweaking ChatGPT's base model to have a chatbot specifically designed for certain tasks. You can even switch on GPT agents to let ChatGPT autonomously plan, use tools like browsers or code runners in its own virtual computer, and execute multi-step real-world tasks like building reports or handling bookings on your behalf. It's not just the LLM chatbot style of AI that's improving. It's artificial intelligence in every sector. The evolution of photo and video generation has been a phenomenal visual indicator showcasing how quickly and effectively these AI models are improving. The most famous example showing this growth may be strange, but it has been an incredible look into just how fast and impressively this is all evolving. What I am talking about is the AI video comparisons of Will Smith eating spaghetti. In 2023, this AI video was released, showcasing a difficult-to-watch, garbled mess of Will Smith eating spaghetti. 2 years later, AI video generation is creating full HD, lifelike imitations of real video that, without close inspection, could easily fool anyone into thinking it is real. The rapid evolution of AI has brought the once exciting technology to the forefront of scrutiny and concern. While many concerns have arisen, none have been louder than the fear of job displacement due to AI, and rightfully so. A National University blog post compiling AI job statistics from sources like McKinsey and the World Economic Forum forecasts that 30% of current US jobs could be fully automated by 2030, with 60% having their tasks heavily modified by AI. Continuing the trend where 13.7% of US workers already report losing jobs to robots or AI-driven automation. The post also highlights that 49% of companies using ChatGPT admit it has led them to replace workers with AI. Now, in this post, it's not all bad. The analysis further notes that sectors like STEM, cybersecurity, healthcare, and skilled trades are expected to grow, Alongside this, AI-specific roles such as AI trainers, ethicists, prompt engineers, and newly emerging specialities are projected to arise as certain jobs are displaced. On the surface, that sounds pretty reassuring. Yes, millions of jobs will get automated, but shiny new ones will pop up, and the economy somehow absorbs the shock. These reports mostly come from economists, big consultancies, and policy groups that assume AI remains a powerful assistant, not a true replacement for human workers at scale. Economists extrapolate from past tech waves, computers, automation, where machines boosted humans but never fully replaced broad swaths of human labor, missing how today's AI explicitly targets replacing us at most valuable tasks, not just assisting. But if you zoom in on the people closest to the frontier of AI, researchers, safety advocates, and some of the very founders building these systems, you hear a much different story about the long-term future of employment. Stuart Russell, leading computer scientist in the field and author of the standard textbook for collegiate-level students on artificial intelligence, had this to say on the popular podcast Diary of a CEO.
Anything you might aspire to, like you want to become a surgeon, well, it takes the robot 7 seconds to learn how to be a surgeon. That's better than any human being. And I think we need to put serious effort into this question. What is a world where AI can do all forms of human work that you would want your children to live in? What does that world look like? Tell me the destination so that we can develop a transition plan to get there. And I've asked AI researchers, economists, science fiction writers, futurists. No one has been able to describe that world. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying I've asked hundreds of people in multiple workshops.
Russell isn't alone in this opinion. Many experts and analysts are predicting a drastic shift to the workforce if AI stays on course, as well as if AI companies keep moving towards the creation of AGI. AI designed to understand, learn, and apply knowledge across any intellectual task a human can do, by reasoning, planning, and adapting in real time like a general-purpose mind, rather than being narrowly programmed for a specific job. This isn't just opinion. If you look at OpenAI's direct mission statement for the goals of their company, it reads, OpenAI's mission is to ensure that artificial general intelligence, AGI, by which we mean highly autonomous systems that outperform humans at most economically valuable work, benefits all of humanity. We will attempt to directly build safe and beneficial AGI, but will also consider our mission fulfilled if our work aids others to achieve this outcome. With the goal of creating AGI that can outperform humans at most valuable work, they're directly moving toward a world where human employment is no longer necessary. Why hire a human when AGI is capable of doing the job better, faster, and cheaper? But AGI brains alone won't stop at screens and code. Plug them into robots, and suddenly every physical job from warehouses to surgery is on the chopping block. While we race towards a future of AGI being able to replace most jobs driven by the mind, robotics are evolving alongside this and threaten jobs requiring physical labor, precision, and skill. While commercially available, intelligent, independent, and useful robots once seemed like a far-off dream, that dream is now looking to only be a few blocks away. For starters, meet Optimus, Elon Musk's vision for a robotic future. This 5'8" humanoid in development since 2021 is gunning for swarms of these bots to be working within factories, acting as home butlers for chores, and wilder dreams like high-precision surgery. Tesla's Optimus is aiming for a low-volume release in 2026, with higher volume releases continuing every year to come with improved robots annually. Musk even has a $1 trillion payment package in place, which he will be awarded upon 1 million Optimus bots being deployed, 1 million of his driverless robo-taxis being deployed, and a variety of other thresholds within Tesla. Musk is not alone in his ambitions for a robo-centric future. Figure AI is developing its own android that has already been working within a BMW plant in South Carolina, working over 1,250 hours and contributing to the production of more than 30,000 BMW vehicles. While there is no official time estimate for commercial home release, there is confirmation that this is their goal for the future. And Figure continues to highlight the capabilities the robot already has. Agility Robotics has been developing Digit, which is already deployed in warehouses for tote and box handling responsibilities. More and more robotics companies are showcasing their evolving technologies. And we are closer than ever to seeing robots walking down the street, working in businesses, and functioning as butlers in our homes becoming everyday realities. I cannot stress this enough. This is not going away. This is going to be a big deal, and this is going to change everything. While I think it's unrealistic to claim that AI will replace 100% of human jobs, a majority is only 51%, and I definitely think more than that are at risk. If most of what gives people structure, jobs, careers, even creative work, can be done better by machines, the problem stops being, how do I earn money? And becomes, what am I even for? This question has experts attempting to come up with a variety of answers for the future. Some push for never-ending cycles of retraining and invention of opportunities, master prompt engineering, AI ethics, new future-proof roles. But that assumes jobs keep materializing when superintelligence devours those too. Others champion UBI, universal basic income, recurring checks from AI abundance, making work optional, fueling an economy without mass employment.
I think ultimately we will have to have some kind of universal basic income. I don't think we're going to have a choice.
This isn't salvation, it's a band-aid confessing the workforce is dying. Reskilling crumbles under AGI and robotics. UBI just admits defeat. No patch stops this. Life will never be the same. No matter the outcome, all of us will have to adjust to the new world around us in the coming years. I'm not talking about the next couple of years. I want you to extrapolate the evolution of these technologies over the next 2 to 3 decades. One of the largest issues created by the internet, a technology used universally every day, despite only being 3.5 decades old, has been the effect on users' feelings of purpose, polarization between ideological differences, and the oxymoronic reality of what was supposed to bring us together and provide growth for humanity is actually tearing us apart and fueling a never-ending cycle of screen addiction. Imagine the effect on the human psyche that this new AI robotics-driven world will cause. Even if this all ends up in a UBI paradise where no one has to work and everyone can live in abundance due to the benefits of AI, the real concern is not financial, it's mental. Living every day in a world where everything can be done for you without needing to earn anything you reap the rewards of. This could catalyze a purpose crisis, hitting the deepest nerve in our feelings of independence and humanity. Just as too many people today find themselves turning to the virtual world of video games, entertainment, or social media as an escape from the mental health crises suffocating the world, how might people find their escape in this new world we find ourselves barreling toward? What if this new escape offers more than just a distraction, but a new digital sense of purpose altogether? One where humans can feel useful again, creating, earning, exploring, something no longer found in abundance in the real world. The purpose crisis waiting for us on the other side of this AI future lays fertile ground for the very question posed to you at the end of Chapter 2. What could possibly move people from playing Fortnite to living in Fortnite? If we assume I'm correct about Fortnite's Oasis-like future, it stands ready to fill the void within this new reality ahead of us. A virtual playground not just accessible through our consoles, computers, or mobile devices, but one we can physically step into through virtual reality itself. It will allow users to create their own worlds, explore their favorite franchises, earn real-world income, and socialize within a reality that never existed. All so they can turn away from a world that's become unrecognizable from its past, one they grew up knowing, but have been forced to forget. I am not expecting that every person on the planet will spend every second of their life in this new virtual world. I am, however, predicting that a significant share of humanity will come to prefer their time in a digital paradise over facing the darkness they see in their present reality. A prime example of this dynamic already exists in social media. As of 2025, about 73% of Americans, roughly 253 million people, actively use social media platforms, while the remaining 27% either opt out or remain on the margins. Even the dominant channel for culture, communication, and news in our modern world still has its holdouts. I don't expect this Oasis to reach that same 73%, but I can easily imagine it crossing the 50% threshold. where more than half of society spends the better part of their meaningful hours not just playing in a virtual world, but living there. In the end, AI and robotics are not just rewriting our tools. They are quietly rewriting the conditions under which most people have ever found purpose. For generations, identity has been anchored in work, family, and the tangible world, showing up, building, providing, sacrificing. Yet we are racing toward a future where much of that is outsourced to machines that can perform our most valuable tasks better, faster, and cheaper than we ever could. In that kind of world, the question, what am I even for, stops being a late-night anxiety and becomes the defining crisis of an entire civilization. When that crisis hits its scale, many won't just look for distraction, they will look for somewhere where they can feel needed again. Fortnite stands out as the blueprint for that next habitat, a constantly evolving universe where players don't just consume content, they build it. Where status comes from creativity, skill, and time invested, not from a job title that AI can do better. In Fortnite's Oasis-like future, stepping into the game could mean stepping into a place where your quests, your creations, your alliances, and even your digital career feel more meaningful than anything waiting outside the headset. Whether that becomes humanity's new frontier of redeemed purpose or a beautifully skinned escape from a world we've given up on will depend on what kind of people we choose to be before we cross that threshold. Because the question is no longer just if people will move from playing Fortnite to living in Fortnite, but what they will believe their lives are for once they do. All right, we've covered a ton in this video. First off, I laid out all the evidence showing that Fortnite isn't just a candidate for Ready Player One's Oasis, it's already heading that way. But if that prediction plays out, it still leaves us asking, why would anyone choose to live in a virtual world over the real one? Then we dove into the exploding world of AI and robotics, how it's set to flip life on Earth upside down, sparking not a money crisis, but a full-blown purpose crisis that strikes at our core sense of independence and humanity. That kind of crisis, it creates the perfect soil for a Fortnite-style virtual second life to take root. First and foremost, I want to move aside from all of the negatives this future expects and focus on the positives we can expect along the way. The evolution of AI into AGI and mass robotic deployment are both inevitable realities that we will all one day face. While the timeline can be debated, the destination is almost set in stone. With these realities undergoing constant momentum, it's easy to sit in fear about all of the negatives that might prop up. But both of these technologies also have the potential to bring incredible benefits to humanity. AGI has the potential to solve the power crisis, find cures to diseases we've chased for decades, and streamline government, putting efficient systems in place that actually benefit people worldwide. These are just a few massive wins, not even touching on the everyday perks we'll all feel. Robotics, they'll serve the physically handicapped, tackle hazardous tasks like deep-sea exploration or bomb disposal, and handle endless factory shifts without a single break. It's important when looking at the future to not just lose your mind over all the negatives, but also ensure you give fair weight to the positives. My purpose for this video is not to keep you up at night, paranoid about how the world might end in the coming decades. It's to make you aware of the changes our lives are about to face so that you can take action in your life now to prepare for it. If we bury our heads in the sand and pretend everything will stay the same, we should fully expect to be blindsided by AI's explosion as the technology keeps evolving. Just like with the internet, if we write off virtual reality as some niche tech fad with no real future purpose simply because it doesn't look like our present, we'll end up facing mental and emotional challenges we could have prepared for. Much like how a lack of foresight around social media and the internet left us scrambling to deal with their impact on mental health and screen addiction. Ultimately, neither a virtual metaverse like the Oasis nor a future with AI and robotics is inherently evil. They're just tools. But we see evil in them because they threaten something so many people already struggle with today, even without the danger of replacement or a virtual escape hatch. Purpose. Real, objective, meaningful purpose. If Fortnite were to become the real-world interpretation of Klein's Oasis, that wouldn't automatically be a bad thing. You could kill some free time exploring your favorite fictional worlds, watch movies on other planets, catch up with friends on the other side of the globe like they're sitting right next to you, and enjoy a flood of games that were never before possible with friends and family. But you could also disappear into it, retreat from the real world, isolate from people who love you, and slip into the lie that your life doesn't matter outside of this virtual safe space. You only have meaning as an avatar, not as a person. AI and robotics continuing to evolve isn't evil on its face. An ending to the story isn't locked in. As already discussed, there are countless benefits we can expect from these technologies, and so much of the sci-fi future we've dreamed about for generations is now within reach. Pandora's box is open. There is no version of the future without AI. But safety experts and policymakers are pushing for guardrails and awareness, trying to reduce the risks before they spiral out of control. There is no stopping the future, there is only changing its course. And while you may not be able to change it for everyone, every single person watching this video can take responsibility for their own life and prepare. That does not mean doomsday prepping, digging a bunker, and stockpiling enough rations to feed a small country. It means building better habits, getting your screen time in check, finally starting that workout routine you keep putting off, taking control of your life instead of letting your life control you. It means not running away from those heavy questions about purpose, but diving straight into them. Figure out who you are and why you matter. Right now, our culture is so busy being told what to think by the algorithm that we rarely step away long enough to think for ourselves. If our future is bringing an even more serious threat to our ideas of meaning and purpose than we're already facing today, each and every one of us needs to genuinely consider where we're deriving our purpose and meaning from. If our purpose is decided by systems like governments or workplaces, those same systems can just as easily take our purpose away. If our purpose is created by the self, willed into existence from within, that purpose collapses when you do, under struggling, change, or loss. If our purpose is derived from society and only in full capacity when we're matching societal expectations, our purpose changes like the wind with whatever the popular consensus may be, never being anchored to something real. We live in a beautiful world, filled with incredible people, no matter what your feed tries to convince you. Find your foundation of meaning that can't be broken. Break the mold while the masses around you remain complacent, never pushing themselves to face those deeper questions. Take a step back, breathe, and start appreciating the life you already have. There's always something to be grateful for, and if we don't build the habit of taking ownership for our lives now, the future ahead of us will gladly take that control for us, until it barely feels like we're living our lives at all.